Hello everyone and welcome to our second ever episode of LEGO Legends. Today we will discuss the interesting theme of Indiana Jones. With rumors of more sets coming out, I thought it would be a great opportunity to look back at this iconic LEGO theme. The theme has 18 sets, 2 video games, and 1 short, all which will be covered here today. So first off, with the sets. On January 1st, 2008, I was in my mother's womb, and the first 4 Indiana Jones sets were released. 3 of the 4 were based off Raiders of the Lost Ark, with the Temple Escape, Race for the Stolen Treasure, and the Lost Tomb. Based off The Last Crusade was the Motorcycle Chase. For a first wave, I'd say it was pretty strong for the time, but compared to modern standards, we'll discuss that later. And in the summer, I was almost born, and we had 5 sets based off the movie Temple of the Crystal Skull. I would personally call this wave a step down. The Peril in Peru was blocky for the time. You will see a better plane later. Temple for the Crystal Skull looks boring besides the racist statue on the side. The Jungle Cutter looks like they're going to build a tank, then a power miner set. Then they just said, give them cigars, herbs, and make it into a tractor too. The river chase exists, and the jungle duel gives you a blanket to choke out all this wave. Maybe I'm a bit harsh on these sets, but they really don't stand well without the figures or the theme. Later in the year was a Comic-Con set, which looks like you gave a kid a bit of 90s Lego parts and asked them to build the Lego Graveyard Duel with a car. And the car they made into a promo. In January 2009, I was a wee little baby, and 2 new Indiana Jones sets came out. From Raiders once more, we have Flight on the Flying Wing, where you get a much better plane owned by Big Daddy Mustache, showing that he can do some good by making some nice Lego sets. And for the first time, we got a Temple of Dune set. And you have the most iconic movie car chase in Asia, the Shanghai Chase. These 2 sets were fun and with good builds. And in June 2009, 5 new sets came out. The Ambush in Cairo was a fun $10 set with nice figures. The Chihuahua, the Chimichanga, the Couchilinga, the Cowalong, the Chihuahua. The Couchilla Cemetery battle was nice, if not a weird set. And the Canal Chase was decent enough, and the fighter plane was boring pick but fine, and the Temple of Doom feels too small. And that was the last wave ever of indie sets, and when I get to the retrospective later, we will discuss my overall opinions, but now let's get on to the short. After seeing the Atlantis short, I was very excited for this. What could they do? What retelling would it be? But it was just a retelling of the Lost Ark and Crystal Skull using whatever sets were in the first 2 waves, even if they were not based off the movie. Fun enough, but nothing as good as the Atlantis. Also, I'm not sure if it was based off the Crystal Skull. I haven't seen that, but I'm just guessing. And there are also 2 games, which I would just assume. The first 2 movies, second 2, I'm not sure, or that's just my guess based off like Harry Potter and Star Wars and all the other games at the time. And after that, Indiana Jones just stopped. I believe in 2009 or 2010 there was that promo, or that Comic-Con set with the 2 Harrison Ford Lucasfilm characters, but I don't know. For how little it gave, it's become one of the most beloved and expensive themes of the time. I don't think you could buy a new set for less than $50. I personally don't think the sets look really good when you compare them to others at the time. The location sets were the worst, but now they're the most expensive. And the vehicles, for the most part, they look bad too. The minifigures, for the most part, are bland, and that leaves a value to that just Indiana Jones brand in movies. I personally think if they swapped out the minifigures for yellow ones and called it Adventurers 2.0, it would not have sold. I used to think that these were some really good sets because I liked the movies, and I don't know, just they were so beloved by everyone, but now I don't think so. If they don't make a new theme, I might buy the Flying Wing, Shanghai Chase, and Ambush in Cairo, but even then, when I look at the prices, I just get put off. If they do make a new thing, they're gonna need to make these sets from the ground up because almost nothing in the theme is worth keeping. As per the series, I think that it was canceled because even though it did sell well, one, there was not much more sets they could make off it. It's not like Star Wars or Harry Potter, where it's an open world with so many things to make. It's just in the real world. You need to give some of the profits to Lucasfilm, but then they're just the named versions of other sets. The temples, you can add in adventure themes like Atlantis or Ninjago. That wasn't around at the time, but it's an example. Now, the vehicles, you just get that in City. Now, you won't get the war vehicles, but that's against the rules. So, to need to add a license fee and have guidelines on what the sets need to look like, the figures, it's obvious that the theme should stop. So that was it for Indiana Jones. What did you think? What do you Will you look at Indy through a new lens, or do you think the theme still holds up? And do you disagree with anything else I said? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, goodbye!